positioned Kevin Harvick winning the race yesterday. And then, you know, I think Denny Hamlin, I just think that Denny was so fast yesterday. I really think, even though he's starting deep in this field, I think he's got, in my opinion, the best shot to win this race today.
Well, he's scheduled to start 19th, but because of drivers that will have to drop in the back, each lane moves up. So Preece has to go to the back. Ryan Blaney, who's scheduled to start 9th, when they wave the green flag, he'll be 5th. And Blaney will also move up 2 rows.
Yeah, Denny's going to start 15th.
Right.
So that's already helping out their cause.
You know, if I was running Fox Bet, and I'm not, will there be a caution on lap 1? This is the 3rd race of the day, and both the truck race and the Xfinity race had a caution on the very first lap. And in both races, at one point in the race, the leader crashed. Christian Eckes in the truck race, Chase Briscoe in the Xfinity race. Briscoe came back to win it.
And I think there's a good chance of that happening in this race because of how many cars had to go to backup cars or had to make changes and go to the back. They are going to be splitting some slower cars and having a lot of speed themselves. They're trying to figure out how to make those positions up as quickly as possible in the opening laps, which, you know, that could easily cause a crash.
So yesterday we had 6 cautions in the Cup race. 9 has been the not-so-magic number in both races today, and we've talked about turn 1 and the difficulty of it. It's been a tough spot already today.
Wow, this is on the exit of turn 1. We talked about not having a failure going into turn 1, but what about just the hard racing and the lack of grip and some of the bump drafting that happens off of turn 1? What's caused some of these issues? It's Justin Allgaier getting loose. How about Harrison Burton? He's getting sideways, heavy contact into the inside wall.
And the hits kept coming. In fact, there was such an oil down at the exit of turn number 1. They ran through it with speedy dry, I think 3 times and blew it off. That this is what's happened since the Xfinity race this afternoon, washing it down to get rid of any remaining oil or fuel residue. That's all dry now, and it has not rained here at Pocono. This delay is for lightning in the area, and I believe we're coming close to the end, and the engines are being fired.
Steering wheel's going on. Gloves. Kurt Busch. Kevin Harvick's ready to go. So is Ryan Preece.
The engines warm here for a minute before they lead them off toward turn 1.
Unique steering wheel there. Kurt Busch, you know, a big supporter of the military, showing his support. Boy, that last little tug on that steering wheel, Mike, is so critical, so important. The belt, I've had my belts come loose at this track before when I was filling in for Dale Earnhardt Jr. One of the scariest things I ever had to go through. And you know, we've seen steering wheels come off and how devastating that can be to your day. And so all those little final checks as these guys are sitting in the seat and getting ready to roll off pit road.
Let's check with Larry Mack for a closer look at today's setups with the Ford Performance Car.
Well, Mike, the drinking word yesterday was strategy. The drinking word today will be strategy. And honestly, I think with those 10 additional laps that Jeff talked about, that ramps up strategy. Now, several times yesterday, crew chiefs told the driver, if your engine sputters, throw the switch. So what I want to do is use our Fox Ford cutaway car to show you what that switch actually does. What it is, we're going to go to the fuel cell in the trunk of the race car. It holds about 19 gallons of fuel right there. Now, in the right rear corner is a little reservoir, and depending on what fuel cell you're looking at, it can hold maybe up to 3/4 to a gallon of fuel. Now, these are one-way trap doors. The fuel runs in those doors and traps it, and what they mean by throw the switch, there's an electric pump, a secondary electric pump in that reservoir, and they know exactly with the amount of fuel that's in there, how far they can go before they have to come to pit road. So with that said, let's take a look at our race analysis. We're going to go 140 laps, 350 miles. The stages are 30, 55, and 55. Pit road speed is 55 miles per hour. Pay close attention in this one. The fuel window, 40 to 44 laps. And Mike, guess what? No competition caution today.
Yay!
That's good news.
I don't think they need to run down pit road and get their pit road speed today either.
No, not going to do that, since they did yesterday. So we finish up the 8th weather delay of the season, 7 since we returned to action at Darlington. A little blue sky up there. Hope that widens out.
Those tires, scuff them off as you're riding on board here with Kurt Busch. Clean out that engine. Always gives you a little bit of a sense of the grip level in the tires and the track too under these conditions when you can jump in the gas there, Mike.
So here are today's Ford Performance Track Facts. Ford has now won 8 of 14 races this season, the most by any manufacturer. Down to pit road for late-breaking stories. Here's Jamie Little.
Hey there, Mike. Yes, you know, Kevin Harvick may have won the race yesterday, but that didn't tell the full story about his car. His car was not good. It did not handle well in traffic. He actually slipped back to mid-pack at one point, but thanks to the adjustments and his incredible pit crew yesterday, he was able to win the race. Now, as crew chief Rodney Childers told me, they made a lot of adjustments. Last night they were here until 11 p.m. This morning they were back here at 7 a.m. Their main focus, get that car handling well with other cars around him, because that is where he's starting this race today.
Thanks, Jamie.
And I find that very interesting because they won the race with that race car. It showed some very good speed when it was in clean air, even though he struggled in traffic. But I heard other teams say, listen, we saw some teams out there that were trimmed out and they were able to find speed and passes down the straightaway. We need to trim our cars out more, because even though maybe it drove good in traffic, they couldn't make up any of those positions. They were trying, you know, you get opportunities, you get that position, but you couldn't complete the pass.
So 5 teams had to go to a backup car and will start in the back. We listened in on Alex Bowman's team here.
Hey guys, we had a good car yesterday. I think we have a better one today. On our stage, it's been hurting us. We got to go up there and execute, finish strong. It's been pretty fun to watch. Last effort, not so much. So let's go out there and finish strong. That's what we're going to have to do.
Alex Bowman got together with Brad Keselowski, and that forced him to a backup car along with Joey Logano, Eric Jones, and Tyler Reddick.
Never really did find out what happened with the left front on Joey Logano's car yesterday, but some drivers experienced some vibrations because they only did 2 tires and they were locking up tires getting into the pit road.
So here.
Be ready here. Watch it out. Let's go.
perfectly. Handled perfectly.
Is out.
Oh, man, not rain.
Raindrops. And lap 4 is more than a mile from one end of the track to the other, so you can easily have a shower down at one end of the racetrack and have it be perfectly dry everywhere else. That is Kevin Harvick's pit sign. I think I might want to put it upside down for a bit here. Jamie, what's up with Tyler Reddick?
Yeah, he was just telling his team exactly what happened. He said right when he was shifting gears, he just lost power steering. He's saying his water temperature is pegged at about 340 right now. Oil pressure, though, is good. They wanted to bring him down, but then the raindrops started to come, and they told him to stay out. So they'll just have to wait it out and see if they can fix it before this thing gets going again.
Well, sounds like he threw the belt on the front of the engine.
That's exactly what that sounds like, Mike. See anything coming. Good. Just got some smoke also out the right side. Several issues here. The A car.
Well, we're 4 laps in, and B.J. McLeod gets the free pass. Raindrops at Pocono put us under the caution flag.
So you won't get caught with wrinkles again.
Busch has done something that no Chevrolet Cup driver has done this weekend. Led the race. He's been out in front for all 5 laps today. No bow tie. Had the front spot for even a single lap yesterday.
Yeah, those Chevrolets definitely had a rough day. It started with Chase Elliott, who was